In my last two division videos I was using a Deadeye classified gear set, and in this video I'm going to show you the build. Before we go to the build, I just wanted to show you the damage this build is doing in PvP. You can check out the PVE in last two videos. I was clearing the old 25 landmarks in the DZ, and I was using the same build, so you can see the PVE aspect of that build. During that clearance of the Tarzan landmarks, I had a couple of encounters with other agents. Sometimes I went rogue on purpose, sometimes I was doing rogues. You know that I'm not that much into PvP, but in case of this build I just wanted to show you the build in PvP. I'm not the best shooter, I'm just doing this for fun, but in terms of damage this building doing, I thought it was necessary to show you the other side. So this is full damage that I built. This is my first encounter in the DZ. I spotted this guy and tried to do him just to see the damage the build is doing. Now you can check it out, it's two-shot build basically. If the build is a little bit weaker, I mean on the other side, then it can be a one-shot, or if the agent is damaged before, it's a one-shot. So I will show you also some encounters in the last stand towards the end of this part of the video. This part of the video will be some 10-11 minutes long, so you can just check it out. Here are the 4 agents. I just spotted them and I just went rogue on them. It was not a smart decision, they killed me after all, but I'm just going to show you the damage this rifle actually is doing.
Will mark you as rogue.
Couple of you asked me to show this build, so I decided to make a video. I said it's going to be my next video, and here it is. I'm not starting with the build specific as usual, just a little bit of gameplay so you can get the feel how much damage you can do with this build. For somebody who is good with a sniper rifle, this build is going to be awesome. If you practice a lot, if you play a lot of PvP, then this build is going to be awesome for you. Other thing is that
your division affiliation has been disavowed.
with this build you can forget about the face tanking. I know some of the kills in this video were sneaky and behind the back, but that's it. That's the dark zone. That's the build. On the other hand, if you face tank, you're going down in less than 1 second. You're so squishy. So you have to pick up your fights, you have to pick up your distance. Sometimes you're gonna win, sometimes you're gonna lose. That's it, that's the PvP in the division. So to tell you the truth, I was really enjoying with this build because damage is awesome, and it's a little bit a different game style, different gameplay, just for fun, just for a change. If you have it, believe me, do this build and you will have so much fun. So while I was clearing those landmarks, there were also a lot of time agents that were also clearing the landmarks, so I wanted to make a video of PvE landmarks in the DZ. I made it. You can check it out. I will leave the links in the description. I will leave the links in the YouTube cards, so you can check it out. Now this is going to be a very funny situation. I leave this one on purpose. I also know, guys, that no matter what you do in the division, there is always be somebody who is angry. I know there is a lot of haters of this build, but to be honest, you have to sacrifice something. You have that awesome damage. On the other hand, you can stand half a second in face tanking with somebody. So if you're running with the DPS build with 450, 500,000 firepower, then somebody said that's not fair. On the other hand, you have this sniping build which are doing damage on the distance, and somebody gonna say, oh, it's like not fair or stuff like that. That's the beauty of Division, that's the beauty of the diversity of the builds. You can really have fun in changing those builds, playing the type of game you really want. You feel like that day you want to play with the Deadeye, next day you want to take Tactician. This is the beauty of the game, and I don't understand why it's so much hate about different types of builds. Some types of builds, like it was like Alpha Bridge in 1.5, everybody were complaining, at the end everybody were running with Alpha Bridge. Now that they have too much damage, and then developers going, they nerf every fucking thing down, and that's not a good thing. I think we should be strong, we should have powerful builds to really enjoy in the game. The difference between builds is huge. I'm very happy about the 1.8 update. Those builds are going to be diversified. You will really have to have a dedicated group with different types of build to play in the dark zone. I really think going on alone in the dark zone in 1.8, it's not going to be possible anymore. So we'll see. The Rogue 2.0, it's a little bit different. You will have no chance to surprise the enemy. We'll see actually how it's going to work. So that's just my thoughts on the Division. PvP, not playing that much, but watching videos, watching other guys, watching you guys, how it's fun, really, it's fun. I think this build will work even better if you're playing in the group. As you can see now, when I'm having a couple of agents by my side, I can play like a support. I can do massive damage to the enemy players while they can just rush on them and finish them really quickly, really easy. So the Deadeye is even better if you play in a group, if you have a dedicated group. It's an awesome support build.
Bravo has gone neutral.
Point multiplier is available.
Hostiles now control Charlie.
Even if you're playing from the distance, when you play alone, the only one agent focus on you can really put you down in a matter of second, less than a second. So when you're having the bodies by your side, they will not focus only on you. They really wouldn't know where the damage is coming from if there is a couple of more people surrounding you. So this is way to go if you're playing with the group. Just stay a little bit back.
Bravo's confirmed neutral.
And try to hit them one by one, picking them up. Another thing I wanna say about this build, about gameplay, you should count that it's not really one-shot build. So before you hit the first time, you should have in mind that you will need to put another hit in a player.
Your spawn relay is active.
So try to take a better position, try to prepare yourself that it is a 2 shots. You have to hit to make him go down. So in this part I was using Historian for a close fight. Somehow I win this fight. but it's not going to happen every time. I was kind of lucky, you will see right now, but the historian is also great for a close combat. If you manage to stay in the cover and the guy is missing a lot of shots, then you are going to be able to put him down. I made a video last week, historian you should buy, and that's the historian I'm having right here. Actually it's my older one, but got the same talents, prepared, deadly, and the history repeats.
Tactical boost can be activated.
It's also doing massive damage on the distance and in the close range also, because you can
Voice
shoot
multiplier is now active for rogue agents.
much quicker than with the M700 carbon rifle. So actually you can spam the target with the hits, and then embedded bullet is going to finish the job, which have crazy damage also. On top of that, 200 you are scoring with the first shot. Alright guys, we are coming to the end of this part of the video. I will show you shortly in the build description, so a couple of more seconds and we are going to check out the full damage that I classified build. Hello agents, and welcome to another Division video. I know I didn't say it at the beginning of the video, but I have to say that it's my video. I feel like I have to say this. We are going to talk about the Deadeye full damage classified Deadeye build, so let's just start guys. I was using a 5-piece Deadeye classified and 1-piece high-end, and this high-end is my Reckless vest. You know that Reckless has increased damage by 8% and also increase of incoming damage by 10%. That means that this build is really squishy and you will have to pick your fights, take a distance. You will in any case not be able to face tank with the enemies, so that's the risk you are taking when you are playing with this build. So to be straight right from the beginning, this build is no brainer guys. I did it full damage. I didn't care about the toughness at all, about skill power at all. I know there's gonna be a lot of suggestions in the comment section below this video, but I really like to hear what you're going to say about this build guys. So let's go into specifics. The Reckless rolled firearms, this is my weak spot of the build. I will take down the mode so you can see. My Reckless is not optimized as it should be. It got only 1200 of firearms. Not bad, but not the high firearms as I wanted him to be. But nevertheless, this is the only one I have. And I rolled him with enemy armor damage and health. And minor attribute is ammo capacity. You really need to have ammo capacity because you are sniping and sniper rifles has a very small amount of ammo. So be sure to have these 3 attributes on your Reckless chest piece, Reckless vest. The mask is Deadeye mask with again enemy armor damage. It got pretty high roll in the firearms. And the minor attribute on this mask is increased kill XP. You can go here with any type of resistance if you wanna do this in PvP, or if you wanna make this build a little bit more PVE oriented, then you should go with the damage to elites. I'm sorry guys, my mind just stuck. So why enemy armor damage? You know that Deadeye, when you zoom in, have 100% critical hit chance, so I go with the enemy armor damage in this. My knee pads are Deadeye Nippets with again damage. Major attribute is 9% critical hit damage. Minor attributes are disrupt, damage to elites, and blind death resistance. My backpack is of course Deadeye with again critical hit damage and ammo capacity, so I'm having ammo capacity on my vest and on my backpack. It is rolled firearms. My gloves are Deadeye gloves with marksman rifle damage, enemy armor damage, and critical hit damage. Every single piece of item is rolled firearms, and I'm having almost 10,000 firearms in this build. The holster is rolled health, because there's no point to go with critical hit chance. You really want to have health on your holster to make this build a little bit more tough, to increase toughness a little bit more. Got pretty high rolls in all three categories. So that's it, guys. Let's go quickly to my weapons. I was wearing this LVOAC as my secondary weapon in case the enemy is rushing at you. This is extremely useful in PVE. You really need to have some secondary weapon that can defend you from the rushers, for example shotgunners or LMB guys. So this LVOAC got talents responsive, deadly, and destructive. It's more PvE oriented, but on this character I don't have better rifles, so I was just playing with this one. The primary rifle and the rifle of all rifles for a Deadeye build is this M700 carbon sniper rifle. It got 170% headshot damage, which is not that important when we're talking about the Deadeye, because you are going to lose all your headshot damage once you zoom in. That's the lower side of the Deadeye build. So this is not that important. The most important thing on these rifles are talents. So I'm having prepared, which have increased damage by 15% when the target's in more than 30 meters away. Deadly, it's a must way to go with, because you want to increase your critical hit damage, considering that when you are zoom in and you are in the cover, you are having 100% critical hit chance. The third talent here can be competent, but I don't have that kind of rifle. I also don't have SVD, which will be perfect secondary weapon for this build. With these three talents, prepare, deadly, and competent, but elevated will also suit your needs, because it will increase your damage by 10% when you elevated more than 1.2 meters above your target. That means that when you are a little bit higher, on a higher position, when you're sniping down, your damage is going to be crazy. It's going to be increased by 10%. There is many places in the dark zone, in the last stand, actually in PvE, also in missions, there's a lot of positions you can take to be above your targets, and then this elevated talent will become a great addition. Okay, so let's go quickly to my mods. For this Deadeye build, actually any Deadeye build, you really want to stack critical hit damage everywhere you can. Considering that this is a bolt action marksman rifle, you really want to increase the rate of fire. So I'm having 121 mag size, critical hit damage, and rate of fire. My optics are critical hit damage, optimal range, and accuracy. My muzzle is again crit damage, stability, and crit chance. And my underbarrel is again critical hit damage, accuracy, and stability. So these are the weapons. Now I'm going to show you my historian, which is somewhere here. Okay, this is the old historian I was having, and it got 158 headshot damage, which is not that important for Deadeye, as I said before, and also got prepared, deadly, and history repeats. Now, to explain why historian is so good with Deadeye, you should read the talent history repeats. It said each bullet embeds itself in a target and detonates 1 second later for 700% of your firearms total. So this is like a huge increase in damage for this rifle, considering that you should have like 10,000 firearms. That means that the embedded bullet itself is going to do a 70,000 damage. On top of that, around 200 damage you are doing with the bullet itself. So you having like double damage with this rifle. This rifle can shoot pretty quick. You can spam the targets with crazy fast hitting with bullets, and it can be awesome as a secondary weapon. It can be awesome using it as a weapon for a close range combat when enemies are rushing at you, especially, I said again, in PVE. You can really delete them with couple of shots from the cover. So that's why I recommended this rifle last week. I will show you link description in a video. At the end of this video you also have a couple of bosses I was doing with this rifle. It's really fun rifle to use, and if you don't have one, actually you should check out the vendor if something like this show up again. And let's go quickly to my character. As you see, I'm having not full firearms as I want it to be. My reckless is pretty low. The build is not optimized fully. It's a live game, it's not the PTS. Basically, more firearms you have, more damage you are going to have with your Deadeye build. So I was going full firearms, full damage in this build, and you saw already how it's working. Stamina and electronics are not important for this build I made. Weapon damage, crit chance 3%, but doesn't matter because you have 100% critical hit chance. Crit damage is 173%, headshot damage 170. A little bit of accuracy and stability coming from the mods. Range is crazy, 43 meters. Reload time, it's not that big, it's okay, 3.2 seconds. All weapon damage bonus. Marksman rifle damage bonus coming from the gloves. And damage to elites only 13 because I don't have it on my mask. Enemy armor damage 21.5%. Skill power is very low. Toughness is very low. Also maximum health. So blind death resistance and disrupt resistance are not the best choices, but that's the only ones I have. I also have a little bit of increased kill XP coming from my mask. So those are the stats for Deadeye classified. Okay guys, let's go to my skills and my talent. I'm running with the booster shot, which will temporarily increase your damage even more. So once you pop your booster shot, your damage is going to be increased by 15%. Whatever healing skill you decided to choose, it's not going to do a great deal for you because the skill power is so low, so there's no point in relying on the healing skills. So I decided to go with the booster, which will do a good thing, increase my damage even more and possibly have a one-shot target. So that's the reason why I decided to go with the booster shot. My second skill is tactical scanner, and the reason I decided to go with tactical scanner is because will increase my critical hit damage even more by 17.4%, which is awesome increase in critical hit damage. Crit chance you have 100%, and this is only going to increase the damage you are dealing with this tactical scanner, with this pulse actually. So as you can see, the cooldowns are extremely big, 56.7 seconds, but you cannot expect to have 10,000 firearms and great cooldowns of your skills. But there is a kind of small solution for this. You should go with these talents. think I mess up a little bit. Actually, I didn't. You should go with the critical save, which will increase your toughness a little bit more. Once you're at a low health, it will increase damage resistance by 20%. Strike back, which will increase your skill cooldowns a little bit. Steady hands for stability. Once you enter the cover, you will reduce recoil by 25% for 10 seconds, and it's awesome with the Deadeye build. And tech support is the talent I was testing, and it seems to work pretty well. It said, kill a hostile when any skill is deployed to extend any active skill's duration by 10%. Basically, once you hit your target, you will increase the duration of your skill, means of your booster shot and of your pulse. Considering that you don't have any skill power and the skill cooldowns are pretty high, this tech support can really help in terms of prolonging your booster and your pulse. You could go with the triage here instead of any of these talents, but those were 4 talents I was using in the gameplay I showed you in this video and in the last video. Alright guys, let's go quickly to my mods. As you can see, all of my mods are firearms mods. I'm wearing firearms mods with health on any item I had. So there's firearms health, here is also firearms health. My performance mods are 2% pulse critical hit damage. So I'm just going to show you quickly. So those were the mods I have equipped on my Deadeye classified. Let's go quickly through the talents of Deadeye. As you can see, the set bonus 2 is initial bullet stability, set bonus 3 is marksman rifle critical hit damage 20%. The set bonus 4 said Deadeye, talent Deadeye. When zoom, marksman rifle lose headshot bonus but gain 50% critical strike chance when out of cover and 100% critical hit strike chance when in cover. Basically, when you are standing, you are not in a cover, and you are zoom, you will have 50% critical hit chance. Once you are in the cover and you are zooming, you will have 100% critical hit chance. This talent was nerfed. The previous version of a Deadeye was 100% crit chance. All the time you didn't have to be in a cover, so this talent was nerfed. Set bonus 5 is additional 40% initial bullet stability and additional 20% marksman rifle critical hit damage. So this build is working only with the marksman rifle. It's made for a marksman rifle, though you're not going to say it's a like a sniper build, because the majority of your hits are going to be in the body and you're going to do massive damage by shooting the target in the body. Of course, you can go with a 6-piece classified Deadeye. I will make a video about 6-piece classified also, but for now this is the full damage Deadeye build with reckless chest piece. And for sake of the video, I'm just going to read through the improved Deadeye and tell you the reason why I didn't go in the first place with the 6-piece classified. The 6-piece classified have a set bonus 6, which is pretty much hard to proc. It said, when zoom getting a headshot kill with marksman rifles will increase critical hit damage by 20% every second to maximum of 100, and will increase stability by 100. Lasts for 10 seconds or until no longer zoom. You know that in PvP it's very hard to score the headshots, so I decided to go with the reckless, where I will have unconditional 8% damage. not relying on the headshots. But if you are a great shooter, if you can score those headshots really easy, then I think you can go with the set bonus 6, and for that you are going to be rewarded with crazy amount of critical hit damage, and that crit damage can raise up to 100, and you will also gain 100% stability. But these things are going to last only for 10 seconds or until you are zoomed out. So that's the reason why I didn't go with the set bonus 6 in this build. I think it's a lot more easier to score a body shots than a headshots and do that massive damage. So this is the explanations of the why I go with the reckless. Okay guys, one of the things you can switch really easy is mods, and instead of those firearms mods with health, you can decide and go with the firearm skill haste. That way you're going to get some lower cooldowns for your pulse and for your booster shot, which are increasing the damage in a great way. So I feel a lack of pulse in the dark zone, not that much in the PVE content of the game, but in the PvP. Because you are sniping build, you really need to know where your targets are. So without the pulse you're actually kind of blind for that period, and pulse is an awesome way to go. And if you want to proc your pulse more often, also in the booster shot, you can switch this firearms mode health with the firearms skill haste. So this is the suggestion. Other way you can go with this build. Of course, if you want even more, you can go with skill haste on your vest, on your holster, and on your gloves, and you can get up to 40% of skill haste, and these are going to reduce your skill cooldowns by 40%. So this is the version with the health, where I'm having toughness some 254,000. Without this health on the mods, you will probably be around 210, 220. So you're going to be even more squishy. So that's it guys. That's a pure and simple Deadeye classified full damage with the reckless chest piece. If you find this video funny, useful in any way, please consider to drop a like, comment, tell me what you think about a build, where you could improve this build. I will really be happy to hear your opinions on this. I was asked to show a video about this build, so here it is guys. Anyway, see you guys in my next video.